I'm Neil Newport.
Cheers.
And I'm Dale Hudson.
Hello.
I've cycled the length of Britain.
And I'm new to the world of cycle touring.
Oops.
Together, we're taking on the Tropics, a 14,000 kilometre bike ride from Hong Kong to Brisbane, as we cycle from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn.
It's an 8-month journey with over 700 hours of cycling.
Get up here, you sod.
We've got no support crew.
Neil's just taking a tumble. A bit shaken up.
And no backup plan.
My tyres had it. Not really sure what we're going to do.
As we explore life between the tropics. Hong Kong, a soaring city boasting more skyscrapers than anywhere else in the world. Made up of 263 islands, its natural landform harbour was instrumental in its establishment as a British colony. Now, as a special administrative region of China, it remains an essential trading link to the Western world. And positioned just south of the Tropic of Cancer, it's also the ideal starting point for our journey.
A couple of years ago, I got a phone call out of the blue from a friend asking if I would cycle Britain with him for charity.
I've just realised we're going completely the opposite direction, aren't we, to the way we want to go. We want to go the other way.
And that really was the start point for this journey. After cycling Britain, I really got into a frame of mind about the bicycle and how far you could go on it. And I liked the idea of two people. It was a nice balance. So it made sense. So I asked Dale.
So lost.
I've never cycled, really. I've not got a passion for cycling. In fact, the furthest I've ever ridden on a bike in one go is probably about 20 miles. But when Neil first suggested it to me, there was no way I could turn it down. It just sounded so appealing. I've led quite a comfortable life in quite a comfortable town whilst I was growing up. And the biggest challenge for me was actually moving out of that town.
Just getting on the ferry from Hong Kong Island to Kowloon.
I moved to Bristol, where I met some amazing people who kind of inspired me to try different things. And from that, I just had this thought, you know, the world's so much bigger, and I just wanted to experience more of that.
It's a pretty incredible time to ride this ferry, really.
We're taking on a mammoth cycle starting here in Hong Kong. We hope to pedal 14,000 kilometres to Brisbane. Our route takes us into China before making our way through the countries of Southeast Asia as we head for Singapore at the end of the mainland. From there we will begin island hopping across Indonesia, looking for a boat to take us to Australia. Then it's just the simple task of a 2-month cycle across the outback to Brisbane.
So we enjoy a night in the megacity, as tomorrow we'll be setting off from our official start point, the Tropic of Cancer marker, just across the border.
The marker itself is actually quite modest, but I think for us it was really important to go and see it because it's quite a symbolic start to our journey. This is what it's about. It's about cycling from one tropic line to the other. And we couldn't obviously pass up the opportunity to go somewhere that marks the official line across the globe.
Dale and I both met at university. We did the same course. And I think while we were at uni, one of the reasons we became such good friends is that we both have the same desire to push ourselves and get the best out of something.
We finally made it. It's the starting point. All we've got to do now is get to the Tropic of Capricorn.
I know that Dale's never actually done anything like this before. Certainly no big expeditions or trips away.
One of my main concerns is how vulnerable we are on a bike. And I've got no idea how people are going to take to us.
Someone just came and chatted to us for quite a long time. He had a lot to say, didn't he? He was really interested in what we were doing, and I think he was slightly blown away by what we were intending to do.
Is your first time to China?
First time to China.
First time to China.
First time to cycle this far on a bike.
That's amazing. So maybe some of you might, maybe a lot of the other people will go by train or by plane to China. Yeah, and that's really, and by that one will be unforgettable. I've got a job I really like and a life and lifestyle that I really enjoy. I'm leaving everything.
The first part of our journey will take us through 3 countries as we cycle over 3,000 kilometres.
Woo, yeah! This is it! Only over the last couple of days has it really sunk in that we're now on this epic adventure.
We're still adapting to being on the bikes.
We've thrown ourselves completely into the deep end here. We're on the right side of the road. People seem to just be everywhere, cars seem to be everywhere. We've almost been in a collision once already. Oops. Can't seem to get away from these highways. This could be an interesting crossing. Now we've got to sit in this middle bit. This crazy place is what they call China.
Our bikes are really heavy. We've worked out roughly 50 kilos each, bike and pannier weight all totaled up. And it's hard.
We've done 63 miles altogether
Today, so we've still got 37 to go. It is gritty, it is often getting up out of the saddle, pushing on the pedals, knees burning, legs burning. Yeah, the last few days I've really enjoyed it. We get these beautiful winding roads back down into the valleys and you get some amazing views and it really all feels like it was all worth it.
We're headed for the northern town of Yangshu. It's not exactly en route, but we couldn't pass up the opportunity to see its southern Chinese landscapes of river valleys scattered with karst limestone peaks.
Towering karst pinnacles loom over the waters of the Li River, making the town of Yangshu a scenic treasure with a history that stretches back over 1,000 years. It has long been the inspiration for poets and philosophers, and as one of China's most popular attractions, it's a real mix between tourism and tradition. On the outskirts of town are a number of hot springs, so before we go off and explore, we thought we'd treat our aching muscles.
Oh God, they love their hard mattresses, don't they? Oh yeah, I just hope it's as hot as, well, hot spring suggests, because it's freezing outside. But it should be really, I'm looking forward to it. It should be really nice and relaxing.
The water is warmed deep below the Earth's surface by geothermic heat. It then rises in the form of springs, resulting in natural pools at a balmy 40 degrees Celsius, perfect for soaking those tired limbs.
It's hard, this cycle touring thing, isn't it? It is. It's tough.
We've not really had the time to just sit and relax, have we? So this is a welcome break.
But we haven't come all this way just for a hot bath. There was something else we had come to see. The Li River has been home to the art of cormorant fishing almost as long as Yangshu's existence, over 1,000 years ago. Today, cormorant fishing is no longer commercially viable, but some still practice this art to keep the ancient tradition alive.
These intelligent birds have been trained to return to the raft when they have been out catching fish. The fisherman ties their neck with a small snare, which means the smaller fish can still pass through, but the larger fish are returned to the fisherman.
It's just absolutely amazing to watch, and these birds are so fast, they're just cutting through the water. It was just amazing to see how well they work together.
On a good day, they can catch up to 4 kilos of fish, which is more than enough to go around.
I think that's fishing over now. It's been really interesting to see just the relationship of obviously the fisherman and the bird.
Something very different. It's amazing how loyal the birds are, just going up and down and up and down looking for fish, just to help the fishermen out. It's really fascinating to watch. I really enjoyed that. I think it's been good to come up here, but I'm looking forward to going south now and actually heading in the right direction. For me, it's a bit of a mileage count now to get down south and get down to the Vietnamese border.
Having made a bit of a detour to come and see Yangshu, we're keen to make up some miles. We're getting back on the bikes and heading south for the first time towards the border with Vietnam.
When we first talked about going to China, it was somewhere I had no idea about, and to be honest, it's completely different to my expectations. Bombed it down there, Neil's just caught up, got a little bit of bad news.
Bridge construction, bamboo style.
Well, let's give it a go.
No, we might be going for a swim.
This is a little bit sketchy. It's close.
It's those open bits where you go straight over the bamboo, that's the worrying part. Whew. That's it, all over and done with.
We've not been able to talk to anyone in real detail at all throughout the whole of China. We've not struggled though.
This gentleman's come over rather intrigued. We've been taking his photos and he's offered us a cigarette in return.
He was pointing to the village and we were showing him pictures of, back home, and it was just a really nice moment.
These? My dogs?
Everyone involved didn't know exactly what was said, but I don't think any of us will forget that conversation, and it's just those little moments really that really lift you up.
England.
So our first puncture on the road.
Can you speak a little Chinese?
Not really. Woman she likes from England.
Oh,
Any good? Really?
a little. So now it's okay?
It's all fixed, yeah, it's okay.
We've seen a different side to China passing through on our bikes, but before we go, we still have to make it through the first border crossing of our trip.
Today we're crossing into Vietnam. It's going to be our first overland border with the bikes. I assume it's all going to be okay. I hope so, because the truth is, all we're doing on this trip are border crossings. We're going to be going through 10 countries if you include Hong Kong. And one of the countries we're entering twice, Vietnam. So fingers crossed that it is relatively simple and we're not going to be hanging around and have any problems.
Well, we're officially lost. We can't find the border crossing.
Darted off down the bottom of that hill.
Well, that says no entry, doesn't it?
We had to climb that to get to what we thought was the border,
I think this is the place.
to realise that that wasn't the border and that we couldn't pass.
We've gone the wrong way again.
I think we've got about another 10 kilometres until we get to what we believe to actually be the border now. So it's been a bit of a frustrating day so far. I thought we'd be in Vietnam by now.
After 2 hours of searching, we finally make it to a checkpoint.
Well, we've just come up an almighty hill and think we've actually now found the border crossing, which is just over there.
We've just got to this Vietnamese section, or well, I'm not sure what's going on down there. Cars are all queued up, but we've just been told that we've got to go all the way back round. We're not allowed through this part. We've done 14 kilometres in about 3 hours, of which we did like 150 yesterday in 7, so that shows you how slow our progress has been. I'm just a bit confused because we've made it past one border and now we've got to go back through that border to get to another border. In essence, we're very lost and we don't know whether we're in Vietnam or China.
It's a frustrating cycle back past the queuing traffic and another hour retracing our steps over the mountain to the right road.
Vietnam, 1 kilometre.
Oh, we've been looking for that all day. Finally in Vietnam, and it feels good.
Not far from the border lies the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi. The coastal route to the capital runs past the famous islands of Ha Long Bay. We are on the more direct inland route, cutting through stunning rice terraces and past lush green mountains.
As soon as we crossed through the border, everything changed. Vietnam's completely different.
And after a long day, we aren't far off.
We could be potentially timing this entrance into the capital city at the worst possible time. It's going to be getting dark. We've done a long, long day, and it's rush hour.
It's all gone a bit mental again. It's good fun though, I enjoy this.
What we didn't realise about coming to Hanoi was that it's their New Year, Lunar New Year, called Tet, the festival.
Tet marks the first day of the Vietnamese calendar. Think Vietnamese-style Christmas festivities. Shops, guest houses and restaurants are all closing down for the holidays. As the city is so busy in preparation, we decide to continue on through.
It's New Year's Eve, and we left Hanoi today. We've struggled to find food anywhere throughout the whole day, and now we're on ice cream because we couldn't find any restaurants. No idea what the flavour is, but it's a lot nicer than Neil's.
It is literally onion, like onion, spring onion and garlic. It's just wrong. Like, you're eating ice cream but it tastes of onion. That is just not right. That just
I can smell your burp. It's disgusting.
It should not exist, this stuff.
This stuff is durian, a fruit that grows in tropical regions that is renowned for its bad fragrance. But as we're burning just under 5,000 calories a day, we'll take whatever we can get.
This is worse than eating the pork intestine and offal and everything. Done, I think.
Safe to say, my bike is definitely better than Dale's.
I won't be so smug, because something's going to go wrong with yours, see? And then I'm going to be sat there holding the camera.
It was always going to be me who had all the problems with the bikes. I don't know why, but there was just something in my mind.
As Dale gets to work fixing the puncture, we start to attract another crowd. They are friends and family celebrating New Year's Day, and we happen to be on their driveway.
Yeah,
not
for the front one. Yeah. Good job I got a puncture, I think. We got invited to this guy's house.
It's widely believed that the first visitors a family receives on New Year's Day determines their fortune for the entire year. Looking a bit worse for wear, we're worried we've got a lot to live up to.
We've just spent a nice hour chatting away and celebrating New Year's with them.
It's really nice because the New Year's Day is spent like just enjoying it with friends and family, and it was quite humbling to be invited in with everyone else.
Oh, okay. Yeah?
What's going on?
I don't know. Just said yes.
Just like us, they enjoy a drink on New Year's too.
Just brought out some wine, which has just been replaced for some very orange toxic liquid.
A spirit made from fermented banana leaf.
Tastes a bit like a mix between vodka and cider. It's quite nice though.
Not wanting to leave without a proper thank you, we've dug out a more familiar tipple that we brought from home.
A gift. A gift.
Jägermeister.
You're welcome.
It's a bit eerily quiet today because it's New Year's Day and everyone's at home. But I mean, usually the streets, you know, are just filled with people and bikes. Like a ghost town.
So far we've been cruising on really nice roads, and dare we say it's been a little bit easy.
When we first arrived here, we got speaking to a few fellow cycle tourers.
This is exciting now because there's just nothing there.
Right.
And it's just...
They'd just come from the Lao area. They were just saying how cycling through there was like being right off the beaten track.
I think we're both really looking forward to getting a bit more into the wild.
We're heading for Vietnam's western frontier, Namao, a remote border town hidden in the mountains.
Big roads have turned into single tracks, and now we're on a dirt track.
Eager to make it to the border crossing, we're taking a shortcut.
We found ourselves really in the middle of nowhere.
We're following the river Song Luong.
Could end up getting very wet.
Winding between its steep valley sides, the terrain is pretty tricky.
No.
And as we pass through remote jungle communities, each seems as surprised to see us as we are to see them.
Hello. They're very amazed at how tall we are, but they're not that much shorter than us. We go further up there. Whoa. No more hills.
I don't think they're used to seeing people, let alone Westerners on bicycles.
Used to navigating these tracks, the locals make it look effortless.
Like a pro.
We, on the other hand, aren't having quite as much luck.
Oh no! Oh, close. It really is adventure cycling this. I've got to avoid the chickens and chicks. It's crazy.
As we slowly push on through, it's clear that we are moving further and further away from civilization. There's like no road now. It's just rock and mud.
Look around there, we really are in the jungle, aren't we?
Oh yeah, there's just nothing here. Right in the bottom of this very steep river valley. Running out of daylight, we need to find somewhere to sleep. Easier said than done in the middle of a jungle. So we're going to camp, we think, somewhere. Maybe down by the river. We've been following a river all day, it's beautiful. But it's only if we can get down to it, because we're quite high up at the moment.
Whether we can find somewhere that's decent. I mean, down there would be a really nice place to camp. We saw some lights by the river and we thought it was a boat. There's a couple of people and it looks like they're kind of surveying the river.
We panicked and turned our torches off, but all our panniers and the bikes are covered in reflectors, so we didn't do a very good job of hiding.
I don't know what they're doing.
Randomer with a torch surveying the river's edge in a foreign land in the middle of nowhere doesn't really make you feel easy.
Shit.
More torches. They're actually on this side.
Looking around.
No, because those guys went the other way.
Like that.
Literally just up the path. They're like right here now. Just gone past. My heart is pounding. I even had to cover up the recording line.
I don't know how they didn't see us.
So it's early morning and we did manage to evade detection all night. Don't know what it was, but obviously because it's night, your mind starts racing with all the horrible scenarios that could follow. It is quite possible that they were just border police.
Well, I kept my cool. I think Neil was a bit worried, but I knew that it was just a few friendly folk walking around. No, it was a bit nerve-wracking, to say the least.
But this morning, you know, it's really nice. It's really peaceful and, yeah, don't know, could have been anyone.
When you camp, you leave so early because you get up first light. So we should have a good full day of riding and should get to the border today. So, new country, Laos. Fingers crossed by the end of the day.
The roads are just getting uncyclable now. It's too steep, the bikes are too heavy, wheels keep spinning. Can't get any grip.
It's getting a bit tiring now. All this pushing malarkey. It's annoying because you just got to keep stopping. We want to get to the border, really. How I haven't got a puncture yet, I do not know.
Oh, Dale's just had a little tumble.
My tyres had it.
Shit.
The rocky terrain has cut the tyre wall clean open, and a replacement tyre is about the only spare we didn't bring. Hundreds of kilometres from any towns, let alone cities, we're not likely to find one anytime soon.
Oh, no. It's not good news. Really not good news.
It's our first major problem, really.
Okay, so we've got 8 kilometres to get back to the main road.
I should be holding that because you're talking.
Well, there's no point because it's just... I've done that.
Having left the river's edge to join the main track, we're running low on water. And with the temperature rising and no idea how far it is to the next village, it's all on us to find a solution.
Well, what do you think the options are?
It's not like we can hitch a lift on this road.
Not really sure what we're going to do. Thing is, you've probably gone over a rock and it's just, you know, sliced through the stitching.
We're stuck in the jungle, and with no support, we've got to find a fix.
We decided we've got the tyre boot, we'll try and stick it. Problem is, it's so close to the edge, there's not really anything to stick it on.
This vinyl adhesive is like a super strong puncture repair patch, used to plug large splits in the tyre.
As long as we can stop the inner tube from squeezing out, should be okay. Only one way to find out.
Oh, so we're now back on the bikes, taking it very, very slowly with this bodged tyre. Seems to be alright, but see my face, I'm just constantly cringing, waiting for that bang.
And for good reason, as it's not long before the fix is falling apart.
I'm surprised it hasn't burst yet. I mean, that's, yeah, ticking, isn't it?
So the inevitable happened. Stopped just outside this town.
The tyre has well and truly seen its last kilometre. and unable to keep riding,
Hello.
all we can try and do is ask the locals.
You got a spare bicycle?
I don't know.
No, me neither. Okay. Nice to meet you. Xin chào.
We are miles away from any tourist trails here, and although the locals are very vocal, understanding each other is proving quite tricky.
Back some.
I don't know if that's a yes or a no.
There's some head nodding going on.
Some head nod. It's looking positive, but I don't want to. You can't. It must be too good to be true, right?
Could this old dusty shack have what we need?
We might be in.
Tyres, and lots of them.
Good.
Let's just hope one of them fits.
This guy's going to fix it for me, I think. That's like a 700C, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievably, they're all too big.
Not good.
We need to maybe look at patching it back up again. Sewing it.
It's really gone though, now.
Is it?
Tired and frustrated, we're running out of options. But with the growing crowd, it would seem that the locals are keen to help us find a solution.
Says you've driven the car 1 kilometre car repair shop, which might be bike.
With the news of a potential tyre just a few kilometres away, Neil's off to go suss it out.
On this. You riding?
But he's a little unsure of how he's getting there. Somehow, Neil has picked up a temporary upgrade.
Sure. How do I know if it's in gear or not? Is it automatic?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
He just has to work out how to ride it.
I don't know why you're trusting me. We'll see you on the other side.
With Neil off on a motorbike adventure, looks like it's down to me to entertain the locals.
Can't help thinking Neil's got the better deal here. He's gone off on a motorbike with a pretty girl, and I'm stuck here and I've got to drink this. I think it's alcohol.
Okay. We're off.
Thank you. So.
Hold this. You hold it. Hold it. Yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, he's having a refill.
How do I go into a lower gear?
It's not good. Oh, no. Okay. One last one. Cheers. Oh, that's quite enough of that. 3 shots of whatever that was.
It all looks like motorbike stuff. So no luck. We're now on our way back to Dale. No one does these tyres. Remember, don't text and drive, kids. I just came back from just came back from riding into town, but no luck, and this guy came over, didn't he? He's taken our he's taken our tyre away. Might be fixing it, we're not really sure, so we're about to find out.
It seems the man who was giving Dale the mysterious moonshine has come up with a brilliant solution to fix the ripped tyre, and with energy drained and spirits low, we're praying it works.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Basically, the guy came over with a small tyre. He's just cut a section off to put inside.
We're just getting to the end of the day, and we're just tired, and
the whole emotional strain of dealing with this is starting to take its toll. Fingers crossed that this will get us going. I really hope so.
Is it bulging?
It's not bulging, so I think we're in, but time will tell. It won't last us until Luang Prabang, definitely not, but maybe Namao is, well, we've been told the next places, so.
Okay, so we're good?
Yeah, I'm just going to load up and then we can
Hit
head
the
on
road.
to where? Who knows? Let's just go.
Okay.
It's been a whirlwind of a day, so we're eager to leave the village to get some space so we can work out what we're going to do next.
We have no idea where we're headed. It's getting dark now, and I think it will be dark in the next 20 minutes. So, fairly tired now. What a day.
As night draws in, we continue to push on, hopeful to find a bed for the night.
Oh, so we've made it to a hotel, and I'm so glad that we found this place, because we really were just cycling into the middle of the night with no real plan. At one point sort of heading for Laos and just kind of going, well, we'll find somewhere there, but thank God we found this place, because it's just been one hell of a day, and I'm kind of trying to still piece it together in my mind what's happened. It's just been ridiculous. One thing after the next, really.
Well, we got a fairly decent night's sleep. The tyre's on, it seems to be holding, but it could go any time, so I don't know really, we just push on and hopefully it gets us to the next big town in Laos.
Laos sits landlocked in the heart of Southeast Asia, stretching from China right down to Cambodia. We've crossed the border at Namao and are now heading for Sam Nuar, our best shot of finding a new tyre. It takes us through Laos' northern region, a remote and mountainous landscape.
Oh, behind me, over there, that's the road we've just climbed. It just keeps going up and up and up. We thought we were at the end of it, but clearly not.
Jeez Louise. I don't think I've ever cycled this high, this quick, for this long, ever. About to get used to it, I think. Whew.
It would seem the ripped tyre was about to become a distant memory, as Laos put something more immediate on our minds.
There's just no way around these Laotian mountains. It's literally up and over.
18% incline. Here we go. Just completely in the wrong gear.
You just go on and on and on and on. Up and up and up and up.
Ridiculous. We've faced nothing like it until now. And then all of a sudden, every day is just a massive challenge.
But my energy levels are just dropping. I'm definitely running on reserves. My tank is almost empty. I'm just shattered.
In just 3 days, we rack up almost 9,000 metres of ascent. The equivalent of cycling to the top of Mount Everest.
I don't quite know how to show you the extent of the hill we've just climbed, because you can't actually see the valley from up here. You're right.
I feel a little bit sick.
I just get too hot. It's hard. Very hard, very long, steep. I'm very tired. Just want to get there now.
The makeshift tyre might be holding up well, but we're taking a beating as another long day turns into night.
We haven't really got the equipment for cycling in the dark. Just Neil's head torch and my flashing helmet light, so we don't do it at all. Try and avoid it.
Yeah, we got it a little bit wrong today. It was a little bit too far. There's nothing really in between, and there's nowhere really for us to put our tent. We haven't really done this yet, and there's no artificial light here at all. It's just pitch black, and then truck lights when they come past, and that's it.
I don't know how I'm this wet this late at night. So sweaty and hot.
Despite tough conditions, we have little options, and until we find somewhere we can rest for the night, we have no choice but to carry on.
Oh, thank you.
We've ended up in this school. I think we might be in for a lesson tomorrow morning when we wake up. We've ended up asking someone if we could sleep under what we thought was a shelter, and they said we can sleep in this classroom, so all is good. We've got the rabble again, but they're all a bit camera shy. We had no idea where we were going to be, so this is a lot better than cycling into the darkness and, I don't know, sleeping in a muddy puddle, so it's kind of cool actually.
Considering the day we've had, this might as well be a 5-star hotel, and I don't think anything is going to stop us from getting a good night's sleep.
It's very early. The sun's just rising actually. We got woken up by an absolute bunch of cocks. Well, they're roosters I think, but very noisy. You can hear them now. Going for it. Still need to get ready and stuff. I'm a bit tired eyes, but it's all good. Still kind of in this adventure world at the moment where we're just going with the flow, and I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it, but it's kind of, I don't know what's happening next really.
Right, you lot, it's time to leave.
With school about to start, we're getting kicked out of our room.
The kids are carrying our panniers.
It seems the kids are eager to start class.
Thank you.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Our map has no place names on, so we're kind of just on this road. The tyre can go any minute and we have no idea where we're heading. The roads have improved somewhat, so I think we can probably get back to doing some bigger days, but that's only when we've replaced this tyre really. So that's mission 1.
We're about 40 kilometres from Sam Noir. Hopefully we might be able to find something.
Sam Noir is easily the biggest town we've encountered since ripping the tyre, and where we've been told we might be able to find a new one. So it's straight to the marketplace to have a look.
It's not that big, is it, the market?
At least that should make it easier to find our way around.
Might just ask someone.
First up, try a friendly local.
Somewhere in the market? Yeah? Okay, we've been pointed this direction, now this direction, so see how this is turning out.
If that doesn't work, it's time to go it alone.
It's just clothes and food in there.
It's getting a bit tiring now.
After a good deal of searching, we think we're finally onto something.
selling bikes there.
Now this is more like it.
This one's broken. Hard to tell when they're hung up. Right size.
I can't help but think that this all feels a bit deja vu.
Good news though, we have a tyre. Okay, thank you. Just done a bit of a maintenance session. Nothing too serious, just putting the new tyre on and cleaning up the chain and stuff. But we're hoping that the roads get a bit better from now on. Fingers crossed.
I thought that after about 2,000 kilometres of cycling already, we would have been a bit more prepared for these hills.
It's hard enough when the roads are that steep, let alone when they're covered in sand. And the problem is, there's that pride thing, and you never really want to give up cycling and get off and push it. There's been some places where we've had to push because it's just been so steep and dusty and sandy, and you just can't get any grip.
Oh, get up here, you sod.
It's like 32 degrees today. Not so good.
These mountains are proving to be a battle to the bitter end, so an opportunity to get off the bikes is a welcome relief.
We're cycling past this archaeological site, which is called the Plain of Jars.
We thought we'd stop and take a look. It's basically just a large area, and there's all of these sort of rock formations that look like jars. It's all a bit of a mystery, to be honest.
This archaeological site dates back somewhere between 1,400 and 2,000 years. There are more than 300 jars scattering this site, but how they got here and what they were used for is still debated.
One of the theories they've got is they all have these kind of lips on the top, or had. This one's still quite well preserved. And they think that they used some sort of perishable material like a cow hide or an animal hide, and they were used as storage vessels, food or water, because there's not a lot of water around here during the dry season, so for travellers they could use these. It's quite interesting that even today, with all the technology we have, they still don't know and probably will never know. It's quite nice that there are still things on our planet that we don't know about.
That's one theory, but I prefer the old folklore. Lao legend tells of a race of giants who inhabited the area, ruled by a king called Kung Chung. He fought a long and victorious battle against his enemies, and supposedly created these jars to brew huge amounts of rice wine to celebrate.
It's quite amazing they've lasted the test of time, really, especially with the recent war. There's a load of bomb craters and stuff around here, because this area, again, was really heavily bombed in the Vietnamese War.
It's our last day in Laos. So we're up really early because we're going to try and get to the border by midday before it gets really hot. I think Laos given us a really good mental barrier now for things to come, because it was just so hard that I think we'll always have that as a mental reserve for every time it gets tough for the remainder of our journey. So I'm looking forward to getting back into Vietnam. Always gives you another little boost of motivation when you're entering a new country, because it's just a whole new lifestyle for you to get used to.
Despite all the hard work, we'll be sad to see the mountains of Laos behind us. We're just a day's ride from the Lao-Bao border, taking us back into Vietnam and a well-deserved downhill descent to the east coast.
Just arrived in Lang Co, which is paradise. You know, growing up on the south coast of England and being within, you know, a 10-minute drive to the coast just reminds me of home, and I just love being by the coast. Never have we seen it yet, so to
to see it from the High Van Pass is going to be amazing.
The High Van Pass is a 21-kilometre mountain road connecting the coastal towns of Da Nang and Lang Ko. Its twisting roads and hairpin bends have long been a challenge for local drivers, but combined with its scenic beauty, it's considered by many motor enthusiasts as one of the best roads in the world. I wonder if it'll have the same charm when your acceleration is reliant upon pedal power.
Up there is what we got to climb. Just no stopping it.
It's really, really nice, especially compared to the sort of mountain passes in Laos. I mean, this is just weaving its way through the mountain. It's not particularly steep, but really, really enjoyable. You can see it, it's got these amazing hairpin bends, so you can see the road just cutting right back across where you've come from.
The place is rather special. When it opens up, the view is just stunning. We're just on the wrong side. You came down there, the right side of the road. It's where you want to be.
As we reach the top, the title for Best Coastal Road is still up for grabs.
I don't think the mountains in Laos really opened up like this. Never did you get a view like that.
No, that's true.
No.
Undecided and tackling it on the wrong side of the road, it's led Neil to come up with a controversial plan. I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy this.
It's probably a cardinal sin for most cycle tourists, but I couldn't really resist the urge to get a motorbike and properly experience the High Van Pass from the right side of the road. What a great decision! I'm not quite sure where Dale is. I have to admit, being on a motorbike's got the better of me and I've just blasted it off. How can you not on roads like this?
Neil's got me on a sodding motorbike. He did get me a present though. He's made me a learner plate, which is nice of him. Everyone's overtaking me. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's semi-automatic. I keep slipping the gears. Oh. Yeah, got it. You can't blame me, it's my first time. It's only a matter of time before he convinced me to get on one of these stupid things. I lost him ages ago, he's probably at the other end by now.
Just forgot how easy it is to sit in the car or on a motorbike and just breeze up the side of a mountain. Such a weird feeling, just being able to go straight up.
Should I give it some welly? Here we go, chop into 4.
Oh yeah! Look at that view! Spectacular! Really is. It's a really, really good idea. I'm so glad we've done this.
Although we've spent the day retracing our steps, we have now covered 3,300 kilometres since leaving Hong Kong.
This might be one of the stupidest ideas I've ever had.
We've had a few problems along the way, but nothing that stopped us in our tracks.
We have a tyre.
We've still got over 10,000 kilometres to go before making it to the Tropic of Capricorn. So after enjoying a well-earned sea view, it's time to ditch the motors and get back on our bikes.
It's weird when you've taken a couple of days off the bike, you kind of forget. All your routines go to pot.
We're headed for a small town back up in the mountains as we make our way towards Dalat.
Should be relatively simple getting down there. I don't think anything major will get in our way.
2 months into our journey, heading off into the unknown has become everyday life. But just as we're settling into things, we're reminded just how vulnerable we are on this journey.
Neil's just taken a tumble. Just check if he's alright.